All right. We are live. Let me fix myself here a little bit. Peace to the family, peace to the tribe. Remember, all right, my channel is growing. All right, so give thanks for that. My channel is growing. Oh, let me fix this collar. It's gonna bug me. Okay, my channel is growing, so I need y'all to hit that like button and share this live, okay? Because I want more people to understand the connection of the eyes and the entire body and how all of it interconnects. Nothing is separate, nothing is fragmented. Um, we really believed for so long of a fragmented universe, and the universe doesn't simply work that way. Everything is designed on purpose in a holistic way. So I need you to comment, put some eyes in the chat for me. Let me know that y'all here. All of the people that joined, put it out there that you ready for tomorrow. All right. So put some eye emojis in the chat. Let's get the engagement up. And then let if you're here and you've already, invested in the liver flush, summer solstice, put it in chat like I'm ready. All right, for those who already did it, we did it back in the spring, and yeah, I went live then. It was an amazing experience. It was actually my first time doing like the full on liver flush, because it's a whole process, and it's not just doing one aspect or drinking one thing. I literally, with the instructions that I written out for everyone who's joined, right? And if you didn't get your email yet, just give me a right after, after I get off this live, I'm gonna send y'all the email so that y'all know what y'all need to get. The main thing for those who joined the flush, the main thing you need for tomorrow is tart cherry juice and apples. Okay, you don't necessarily have to have the apples, but for certain, the tart cherry juice, and I'm going to explain why. Okay, so that's for those who already joined. Yes, I see the engagement. I give thanks. All right, for those who've already joined, that's the main thing. And those who joined and didn't get my email, as far as the PDF, that's the main thing you need is the tart cherry. All right. So right now, we're talking about the liver, right? Why is it important to do it quarterly? You guys are noticing that we're doing it before each season starts. Well, it's plain and it's simple, y'all. We should be cleansing and preparing our bodies to enter the next cycle, the next season on the planet. And what happens is a lot of times when we have these illnesses, which blocks opportunities, which blocks our very own abundant power that each of us have stored in our DNA. Okay, everyone has it. It's just based upon the sluggishness and the congestion that the body is literally holding on to. It's like you're trying to go up a hill. Well, I was training today. That's exactly what I was doing. I was going, my grandmaster had me going up a hill with a weighted vest and just constantly running and while pulling me back. And it's like that's like how some of us experience life. You're kind of constantly trying to run, but something is just keeping you stagnant. And so we don't want that. And a lot of times, with everyone who's done any kind of detox, not just my detoxes, but anything, people find that opportunities begin to present itself. Well, it's not presenting itself. It's always been there for you. It's always been waiting for you once you make a decision to say, hey, I'm going to really take care of my holistic life, my physical, mental, emotional, spiritual being. And that's what we target, not just the physical aspect, because remember, the physical body is governed and controlled by the spiritual auric field. So that's very important. When you go into this liver flush, anybody who joined, Go into it with that mindset, because the liver has so many different responsibilities that we really just think, what's the first thing you think of when you hear the word liver? I want y'all to put it in the chat. Before I say it, I want y'all to put it in the chat. What's the first word that you think of when someone says liver? Go ahead and put it in the chat for me, family. Mm-hmm. Okay, somebody said blood. Mm. River. Okay. Someone said river. That name looks familiar. Triptonic. Oh, I see you, Triptonic. Yeah, gratitude. Cleanse. Okay. Cleanse, blood, river, cleanse. Okay. Those are some good responses. I'm loving it. Now, the first thing I would say that most people think of when they hear the word liver is alcohol, right? They think that the only thing that can damage the liver, which also associates itself with what you all said, the blood, because the blood is the river, one of the rivers of the body, the other river being the lymphatics. And the Bible talks about that too. You know, if you go into, I got to really study the Bible to the point where I'm reciting the different quotes where it talks about the river of Jordan. It was talking about the blood and the lymphatic system. Okay, so back to this, right? So when we think of the liver, we think of alcohol, right? Because like that's the only thing that could, cause damage and havoc to the liver. But it's so much other aspects and other jobs that the liver has, and really, when we think about the liver, see, the liver governs also the entire cellular metabolism. So when the liver is not functioning right, healing will be slow. I'm going to repeat that. When the liver is not functioning correctly, any kind of attempt to heal and detox the body will be slow. Okay, because every cell in the body is dependent on the liver's function, the bowel, how much bowel you have in the body, also that the digestive system, the pancreatic function, the liver. Every cell in the body is dependent on that part to have metabolism to each cell. All right. So remember, we talked about, if you guys are new to the platform, all right, you see the eyes, right? Iridology. The eyes are the windows to your entire health. It's the windows to your auric field. It's the windows to your mental health as well. I did a live on that a while back. I gotta bring that back too. But really looking at the liver for more than just what we think or what the first word comes to mind. Okay, so those suffering from fibroids, different kind of cancers, right? Breast cancer. There was an article, and really, y'all, I really wanted time or to put a PowerPoint together, because I love PowerPoints, because it helps you guys to see the visual images that I put together in the PowerPoints while I'm teaching and speaking on the subject. So, but I didn't have time, right? I'm training. I trained for like 4 hours today. It's shout out to my grandmaster. He worked me hard, and y'all the first to know. I've decided that I want to really get into tournaments. I've been training in martial arts for 5 years now. So this year, y'all will just see me a lot of content of training and really putting my body into the best shape so that I can compete. So there you have it, y'all. Y'all the first to know. Anybody on this live, y'all the first to know. So look out for that in the next few months. All right. So dang, what was I talking about? So back to that. I didn't have time to put the PowerPoint together because just getting everything, getting home. And so I'm gonna actually share my screen of one of the things that that I had posted on my, I don't see it here. I had posted on my newsletters. If anybody's on my website, you guys get my newsletters. I post a lot of information there. All right. So there was something that I posted on there. I gotta give me 1 second, family. I don't see it. I'm gonna share my screen in just a moment, but we're gonna pull this up. If y'all, enjoying this live, put something in the chat. Thank y'all for waiting while I pull this up so I could share. At least I want to share the kind of the words that I see here. I got it here. Let's get to it. Here we got. All right. Now I'm gonna get ready to share my screen. Let me know if y'all could see it. All right, let's see. I may have to share my entire screen because sometimes it just doesn't. All right. It's gonna look a little wonky for me, but just bear with me, family. All right. All right, let me open up my phone to make sure that this is looking right. All right. Yeah, I think y'all can see it. If y'all can see it, put something in the chat. Just put a thumbs up in the chat. I could see it from my screen, but put a thumbs up in the chat. All right, cool. Good. All right. So I shared this a few months ago. This was I have a detox with iridology level 2 program, and with that program, it's a 90-day reset program. Literally, I work with you very closely. All of my clients know they have 24/7 communication support from me when they join this program. We meet every 2 weeks. You get different instructions on how to detox, not just willy-nilly, y'all. All right. Not just, like I'm going to just drink this and that, because I heard about it or I heard it's good for the body. No. All right. It includes me looking in your iris and putting together a blueprint plan specifically for you. And that's why most of the reviews you see, people are detoxing successfully because they know exactly what they need. All right. It's not, I'm just going to do this, or I'm going to eat this. I'm going to put this herbal tonic together. It's detoxing with a purpose, detoxing with a blueprint. And family, we have to understand there's a science to living. All right. No one was put here to just go about life without having a map. Your iris is one of those maps. Okay. And so that's what I'm helping you here to decode your blueprint that was already set for you way before you can speak a word. When you were in your mother's womb, that once the iris begins to form in the womb, it already formed everything that you can potentially go through in your earthly life. Okay, how powerful is that? All right, I want you to put some fire emojis because that's how powerful you are, right? Ye are gods, not something outside of you. We are gods. Okay, having that experience. And once we understand this kind of information that we already have, then we can live above these earthly challenges that we go through, what we call disease. All right. So this is, if you've seen on my Instagram, I posted this. I had a lot of students that posted, and this is, you guys, this is a warning graphic photo. This is what, when you pass stones, you have stones in the liver, gallbladder. This is what happens. And see, gallstones, what they're made out of, they're calcified deposits. That means that over time, something it's just became so hardened in the liver that it formed these stones, which happens to block the bile ducts, for those who have poor digestion, for those who have chronic colon issues like Crohn's, ulcerative colitis, diverticulitis, all of those, constipation, hemorrhoids. Let's look to the liver. Because when you go to your gastroenterologist, they're not going to say, hey, I think you should focus on your liver. Or they're not going to do a liver test to see how much or the function of your liver enzymes. They're almost never going to do that. I can't say never. I always leave room for error and you know, because you just never know, right? So let's say almost never. They're almost never going to say, hey, let's do a liver scan. Let's check your liver enzymes. They're almost never going to do that. So that's why we're putting it together for those who have those kind of issues. You need to do a liver gallbladder flush. And this client had no symptoms of gallbladder issues. No symptoms. For most people who have gallstone attacks, right? It's so painful because see the gallbladder is right in the upper quadrant in the right upper abdomen. And some of the symptoms is excruciating pain. I've never experienced it, but from people that I've heard experience a gallstone attack, it is so painful. You're crying, you're literally bent over, you really can't do anything, to the point where once you're rushed into the hospital, the doctor's only thing to say is, oh, we have to get you for emergency gallbladder removal surgery. Right. Thankfully, there's some people who like my mother, she saved her gallbladder by doing just this remedy over almost 30 years ago now. All right. May she rest in perfect peace. Okay. So this is for those, again, share this live because you never know who can save their gallbladder and avoid surgery. I mean, who wants to go through all of that? All right. So this is a client, again, didn't have no symptoms of gallstone attack, but looking in her iris, a lot of times you guys ask me, I'm going to share my screen on that, what an iris looks like when it has liver congestion. That white, opaque, gray ring around the iris shows lipids or high lipids in the blood. Lipids going back into the liver gallbladder, which is responsible for the digestion of fats. So anyone dealing with elevated cholesterol levels definitely needs to do a liver flush, either quarterly or you can do it every 4 to 6 weeks, which we'll get into that. All right. So this is something that I shared on my this is what I shared in my email newsletter. When I talked about how this client, she passed all these stones, and after that, she dropped a lot of weight. And that's what I had posted on my IG, that a lot of the weight challenges that we think we have, it's not, oh, I'm going to the gym. I'm going to, do a smoothie and intermittent fasting, and people are getting frustrated because they're not losing weight, which leads them to say, you know what, I'm just going to go and get this bariatric surgery. No, it's not the fact that you're not losing the weight. Well, you're not getting to the source, which is the liver, the colon. Okay. So for those who have challenges with the weight, a lot of waste, especially in the midsection, liver, colon. Okay. So here, this is just a short list, y'all. This is a short list of diseases that is linked to liver and gallstones. Remember, the liver can hold stones too. So those who've had their gallbladder removed, if you're watching this, even the replay, for those who've had their gallbladder removed, you can still benefit from the liver flush, because the liver, there's something called hepatic stones, which is not a lot of research on in the medical field, where the stones that can be lodged into the liver as well. I posted something before that there was a man who was 55 years old who died of liver cancer. And when he passed away, they did the autopsy. He had over, I think it was, I got to go back to the actual wording, but it was thousands. I can't even say the word because I think it was like 50. It was thousands of stones in his liver once they did the autopsy. So, can the question be, could he have avoided a diagnosis or this fate of liver cancer if he had done regular liver flushes in his life? And this is a regular thing, y'all. Again, for those who's joining again, you did the spring equinox. Now we're doing the summer solstice. Summer starts June 20th or June 21st. Every year is different. This is something that we should all be doing to kick off the next season. So again, we'll be back here, right, in September for the autumn equinox. Okay, for the fall equinox. All right. So this is just a list of diseases that is linked to liver and gallstones, breast cancer. Okay, breast cancer. What I found with my clients, when I look into the iris, because I could tell what is called breast cancer in the iris, it would appear dark lacunas and crypts. Those are the iridology language that we use. These markings appear as teardrops, closed teardrops, fully, like the way it's designed, the way the markings are designed in the iris, depending on where the ailment is, it'll be a closed in teardrop marking, and it'll be very black. And so a lot of times I can see it, whether it's small and whether it's at a stage wherever the doctors diagnose it. So when you come to me, I never say, oh, you have stage 4 breast cancer. No, that's not how it works. Because again, number one, I don't name diseases. Disease names are for, number one, the ego, and number two, to attach it to something so that people could say, okay, I know. Well, really, it's for doctors, right? Because doctors have to attach it to something so that they can give you the medication to, quote unquote, remedy the situation. They don't attach a name to it. There's nothing that they can give you, hence no money to be made, right? So anyone who's had an iridology from me, I simply tell you where the tissue damage or the tissue destruction, the inflammation of the tissues is in the body, and also what stage it is in based upon tissue health, not based upon medical terminology, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. It doesn't work like that. Okay. So I had a client, I said, I think you should go get a thermograph. Thermograph is an alternative to mammograms, which they use heat light. They use a heat light to see the abnormal cellular activity in the breast. So where it's more, where it lights up the most, that's when they can see if there's any kind of abnormal tissue of the breast. Healthier alternative to mammograms, right? And a lot of people don't know of it. And there's a lot of facilities, especially in New York, Jersey, Atlanta, all of these cities where, you know, it's more, it's not, what's the word I'm looking, like suburban around where I live. But there's a lot of places where you can go get this done. And so even and looking in the breast area, I went straight to the liver area. And years ago, about 25 years ago, she had her gallbladder removed due to gallstones. So one of the first, I can't say the first, one of the first introductions to cancer, specifically of the breast, was the gallbladder. And what in our minds, and also what we've been taught, that the remedy to get rid of gallstones is to remove the gallbladder. Well, no, that doesn't remedy the situation. So now, 25 years later, she developed breast cancer. And so what happens is, again, there's these auxiliary nodes that leads to the breast, to the lymphatics of the breast. And these nodes become so congested, again, lymphatic cholesterol. Anyone who looks at the irises that I share with that ring around, that all ties into we call it lipemic diathesis, okay, which is excess lipids, lymphatic congestion, sodium overload, okay. And so when we see that, and also going into the breast areas, that's what's happening. The body's pathways are so clogged and congested that it has no way to remove the waste. Once that happens, you have these abnormal cells begin to develop. They start to take over the body. So it's like the evil. I don't like to say evil, but I'm trying to paint it illustrate it to where it makes a sense, where the abnormal cells rush in. You're not producing healthy cells in the rate where the abnormal cells are coming to take over. Hence, how a tumor is performing. They've done many research on what is called tumor genesis, which is the beginning of a tumor. What happens, or what's happening in the body where a tumor begins to develop, and it all is laid out plain at sight. The main pathways of elimination are totally congested. The lymphatics, the lungs, the kidneys, which the lymphatics is due to also the spleen, the liver. All of these main pathways of elimination is completely blocked. What choice does the body have but to create a tumor to save itself? That's why my last live on YouTube, check that out. Cancer is not a disease, it's a healing mechanism. It's there to say, hey, wake up. I need your attention because you've ignored me for so long. I've had colds. We've had colds. You blocked it. You've had this ailment. You removed the organ. Now that takes me to uterine fibroids, which is been over 30, 40 years that it's been running rampant in our community. It's and mainly majority of it being melanated women, right? So what's the remedy that we use, or doctors come to us to say to use when the fibroid tumor is so large? Let's remove the uterus. Oh, now we have to remove the ovaries as well. This is not the remedy, that the mindset to just remove something and it's gone. Oh, it's done. So we have to really get to the root of what's causing all of these different ailments. And again, you're watching this live, you have no ailments. Let's say you have no ailments at all. Well, what reason do you have to do a liver flush? What reason do you have to do a liver flush? Hey, and this is for my millennials, those who are around my age, that you're feeling vibrant now. I mean, yeah, between your 20s, your teens, your 20s, your 30s, mainly the early 30s, life is great, right? I mean, you're still able to walk. You have all your faculties, right? Nothing's really progressing. But then 35, maybe it depends. Some people have a lot of ailments in their 30s. And 35, 36, late 30s, you start to, you're having these challenges, whatever any diseases that's on the list and anything else that you may have been challenged with. Well, it didn't just happen all of a sudden, right? I mean, I've been teaching this for the last 7 years. Disease don't just say, oh, yeah, like overnight, a tumor or a cyst or a fibroid just appeared overnight. No, this has been developing for at least 10 years. So yes, you watching this live, you have no ailments, you feel healthy, you can benefit from the liver flush too. Hey, I do it. And I look at my own iris. And I don't have any debilitating ailments, but hey, I don't want any. And I'm preparing my body right now for when I'm in my 50s and my 60s. So I don't have to be, like my grandmaster says, walking on a cane. Oh, how you doing? I'm preparing my body now so that that's not my potential challenge. Okay. So look at all of this. Chronic eczema. Children with eczema, that's the liver. Now they're too young to do a liver flush, but what I would suggest, if you have children with chronic eczema, they definitely can drink the liver gallbladder tea, make it iced for them. Ice it, sweeten it with some date syrup, a little agave. I don't really, play the agave too much unless I'm making elderberry syrup, and you're not downing the elderberry syrup where you're drinking it. You're just taking medicine cupfuls to get rid of the strengthen the lymphatic system dealing with sore throats, all of that. We got to do a whole lot on the lymphatic pathway and herbs for that and different things like that, right? So those who with children with chronic eczema, we look to the liver. The liver, anything dealing with the skin, eczema, psoriasis, all right, severe acne, where you just even acne, the aftermath of acne, where you're not getting rid of the markings. You may have popped the pimple, but the markings are taking too long to go away. That's the liver. Anyone with the back acne, anyone ever experienced back acne, where all those red dots, all those brown and red dots on the back, that's the liver. They call it liver spots, right? Which that's associated with old age, but there are people younger than 60. There are people in their 20s, teens, who have that back acne, and that's all associated with a poor functioning liver. All right. Constipation, which is becoming a normal thing. I mean, it's been so normalized that people don't question if they pooped or not. They defecated or not. When was the last time you had a bowel movement? 2 days ago. Yeah, it's become so normal. And even, why it becomes normal? I'll tell you why. Because when you go to the doctor, they say, oh, it's okay. Oh, it's all right. That happens. That happens. So because we have this white coat syndrome, right? We just automatically believe the medical doctors without understanding that what goes in has to release his waste every single day. You are not a human garbage can. And even the garbage can has to be disposed of. Okay. So holding on to all of that waste in the colon, years and years, the plaque gets built up in the intestinal walls, right? And even though you may have bowel movements every day, there could still be a lot of waste plaque on the intestinal walls, which leads to these different colon inflammatory diseases or bowel diseases like colitis, Crohn's, which all deals with the small intestine. And when I'm going to pull up the iris, I'm going to pull up I think I have it on here. I'm going to pull up the chart in a minute. That's my client. She did this is her, right? She did the cleanse. Shout out to this beautiful sister here. She did the cleanse, the 90-day program. She had we started off with the thyroid because that was her main challenge. This goiter on her neck after she did the liver flush, and because again, thyroid disease linked to the liver. This is 30 days after being in the program. You see a complete difference in the face. Of course, she lost waist. That's just the beginning. And the thyroid goiter actually shrunk. How amazing. How powerful is the liver gallbladder flush? Let me know if y'all really ready for this. All right. Let me know. Okay. Like I said, everyone can benefit from the liver gallbladder flush. For a more youthful appearance, that golden glow. Yes, you want that golden glow, that vitality, have energy automatic when you wake up. Also helps with the prostate. Fellas, you're dealing with issues with stamina, and they're saying that testosterone levels it's a testosterone epidemic. Well, let me tell you, you go ahead and do some liver flushes either quarterly or every 4 to 6 weeks, and I can say that you will experience energy like you have not before, never before. You feel like whatever age you are, you're ageless. You feel young all the time. Okay? Because we are ageless beings. You're not 65. You're not 29. That's just given to us, right? Oh, you were born September 8th, 1969. I'm 54. You're not 54. You are ageless. You are limitless. So you're not that. You're attaching yourself to that frequency. No, you're beyond that. And doing the liver flush and cleansing the liver and gallbladder will take you beyond that. Because as long as your organs are young, you are young. I'm gonna repeat that. As long as your organs are young, you are young. And I shout out to one of my teachers, Dr. Nalani, which she was actually told, Dr. Nalani Valentine, which she was actually told in her beautiful age. She's ageless, right? But she says it, she's in her mid 70s. When the doctors examined her, they said, you have organs of a 20-year-old. We all have the ability to do that. All right. So that starts with these kind of practices. All right. I'm going to actually, I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to show y'all. All right. Let me know. I see the engagement. How y'all doing out there? How y'all enjoying this live? Let me know. Any questions? Post the questions. Let's, get my neural pathways, fire up my neurons, because to see with questions, I start pulling out information that I didn't even think I knew. Shit. For real. That's what questions do. I've read a lot of different books. I've learned so much from my first teacher, which is my mother, of course. I mean, I wouldn't be here teaching y'all if it wasn't for her. All of the information that's running through my veins from my mother, my grandmother, my great grandmother, because my family is, I mean, we have a powerful royal background in ancient natural healing. I mean, this is not just started with me. As far back as I know, my grandmother, she was my great grandmother. She was a gardener in Georgia, and she planted so many different produce. She had her own pecan tree. She won awards for having the biggest squash and biggest produce of the year. She actually, if you guys will remember this story that I it's been a minute, but let's just share it anyway. Post some questions in there, y'all. Put some questions in there. If you have any questions about the liver gallbladder flush, questions about any ailments that you may have that may help or be associated with the liver gallbladder flush, put it out there. So the story is that, see, my grandmother, great grandmother, she was a diabetic. Diabetes, or what is called diabetes, is an inherent weakness in my family. And so the doctors wanted to take her leg. They said, there's no circulation to that leg. I'm not sure which one, but they said there's no circulation there. We have to cut this leg off. And she told the doctor, she said, you're not taking my leg. I'm going to die with this leg. All right. You're not taking my leg. Okay. Give thanks to my grandmother, Dorita. All right. And what she did, she had her own garden, right, in Georgia, Waycross. And so she went in the roots. I actually have a video of my mother's cousin showing me exactly what she did. She pulled up dandelion root, boiled it down to a salve, and she rubbed that salve on it. She did a few other things too, but mainly the dandelion root, boiled it down to the salve, drinking the teas, using all these different herbs, and bringing back the circulation. She died with that. She passed on. She transitioned on with that leg. All right. So this is not something that's new for me. And then my grandmother with we on YouTube, so I'm gonna, people are talking about it freely, the Jabberwocky, the Vax, whatever. My grandmother discovered, she began to get into that information in the late late 80s. I'm not sure specifically. Then my mom got into it, and now here I am. All right. So this is just constant. This is a legacy for me and in my daughter, which she's absorbing and learning now, trying to tell her, listen, yo, you don't be using your TikTok for nonsense, okay? You got a lot to teach. You watch me in action. I take her all the time on these shows and events and speaking events that I do. She watches me and she repeats it. Iridology is my mommy can look into your eyes and tell you, what diseases you have. And she's actually, oh gosh, she's so funny. She'll look in like some picture. She said, "Oh my, yep, that person needs a colon cleanse." Because I've shown her what to look for, or what the eye looks like, and what a person needs to pay attention to. So she's very very intelligent, and she has that power already. So I'm already preparing her for that. And I'm like, listen, you need to teach kids your age. You 9, she's 9. So on TikTok, ain't no child, really talking about that. So that's, I love the fact that I'm able to, do that and help her with that. I'm gonna share my the iris chart. I don't see no questions. I see Jahan A said, love that. Yes, yes. All right. If y'all don't have any questions, come on. Those who still want to join. All right. Hold on. Let me pull up the the iris chart so that we can. I have so many. All right. All right. All right. Where we at? Okay, I'm gonna share. Oh no. I'm gonna share. The entire screen. And we're gonna go to where we at? Oh, right here. Okay, bear with me for a second. Okay. We should be up. We should be up. Let me know if y'all can see this. Let me know if y'all can see this. And sometimes it's a little. Let me know if y'all can see this. Let me know if y'all are tapped in. Again, any questions that y'all may have regarding the liver, gallbladder flush, regarding the what you need to do. I'm not gonna go into too many detail because that's giving it away. You gotta be part of the tribe. You gotta be part of the summer solstice liver flush tribe to know all the details. I'm gonna give some so that you have enough to make a decision. So here, look at the right again. The iris. This is your iris. This is the mapping of your organs and how it's situated in the iris. Okay. Notice here the liver, gallbladder is on only the right iris because it's on the right side of the body. So the right the organs on the right side of the body is associated with the right iris. Same thing with the left. Organs on the left, like the spleen is on the left. You'll only see that in the left iris. All right. Now you see here the colon area is always around the pupil, extending out. This is the autonomic. We call this the autonomic nerve reef. Also the nutritive zone, because all of the organs is depending on nutriment from the colon. Okay, so we all heard the saying, you are as healthy as your colon. Longevity, long life, healthy colon. We have to add that now, healthy liver too. All right. So here you see the duodenum. Notice how it's connected in the iris to the gallbladder in the liver. So those who've had issues with ulcers, specifically on the small intestine, because any kind of duodenal issues or duodenal ulcers shows poor absorption. Where if you had any kind of challenges with unintentional weight loss, blood in the stool, constipation, just low energy, all of that is due to the colon, or this really the small intestine. You're not getting real absorption of nutrients from your food. So in other words, you're eating, but the cell is not taking in the nutrients from the food. And then most people who have those issues are not eating nutrient rich foods anyway, which ends up causing the inflammation. Ulcers are just inflammation of the duodenum, which leads to ulcers in that zone. Okay, and also the small intestine, where you see here, I did a video on my Instagram, which these little I call them tiny lymphoid receptors of the small intestine, called Peyer's patches, where the responsibility of the Peyer's patches is to alert the colon of any kind of viral, bacterial, fungal invasion in the stomach, in the bowel area, and it destroys it on site. But if you're eating this, like eating dairy, eating these foods that destroy the integrity of the Peyer's patches, well, this is where Crohn's comes from. This is where ulcerative colitis comes from, because now you don't have your military in your small intestine, because mainly these Peyer's patches are saturated mainly in the small intestine, what is called the ileum. So most people who've had Crohn's, when it becomes very, very chronic, they say, hey, we have to cut a little piece out of the ileum. Okay. So this is also doing a liver flush can lead to strengthening your tiny lymphoid receptors, called the Peyer's patches, because you're relieving the body of waste. When you pass those stones, and even if you don't pass stones, right, it just means that you may need more flushes to actually pass some stones. Everybody's not going to pass stones their first time. So some people have a question, well, what if I don't pass any stones the first time? Like I did. I didn't pass any the first round of flushing that I've done. And well, I've been living a certain lifestyle for almost 9 years. I don't eat fried foods. I don't eat certain foods that can lead to a overload of stones. So those who don't have an overload of stones may not pass any. So don't get discouraged if you don't. If you do pass a lot of stones and you had no symptoms, you need to do another round of liver flushing sooner than the quarterly recommended, or sooner than the quarterly that we do as a group. So let's say in that picture that I've shown you with my client, that was considered a lot. So she would need to do liver flushes every 4 to 6 weeks, until once you do the next one after the 4 to 6 week, it becomes lighter. Then you can just go to quarterly. Okay, so here you have the duodenum, then you have the gallbladder here, and then you have the liver. Okay, all of them anatomically is close together when you look at the anatomic structure of the body. All right, and bile, which is that liquid that we need for digestive purposes, that is diminished when you have these calcified stones blocking the bile ducts. And we know, or I've said in previous lives and said it before, that the less bile you have, the more digestive diseases that you have. The more bile you have, the more healthier you are. Okay, so we're going to get into what's a part of this liver flush kit, right? Those who is interested in joining, you haven't joined yet, you're thinking about joining, you already joined. What does the liver flush kit entail? Well, the liver flush kit comes with the liver gallbladder herbs, which includes herbs like, and may pronounce it incorrectly, so judge me, Cassia, Quassia, Kuassia, right? It comes with juniper berries, milk thistle, yellow dock. Oh man, it's so many. Let me see if I have my list. Oh, there it is. Got my list. It comes with ginger root, also clove, cinnamon, cardamom, artichoke flower, Oregon grapefruit, Oregon grape root, fenugreek seed, mandrake. Okay, all of these herbs work together energetically to restore the liver. So each herb has its own job and own life force, energetic force to service the liver. Okay, so that supports the liver while you're doing the flush. Is it necessary throughout the entire 6 days? No. What you're going to do after you do the actual flush, which is on the 6th day, you're going to drink those herbal teas, or drink the herbal tea, the liver gallbladder detox tea, to support the liver after you have done the flush. And this is for those who didn't get the kit yet. For those who have the kit already, you can start drinking the liver tea starting tomorrow. But again, it's not a necessity, and it doesn't lessen your chances of passing stones. The main ingredient that you need to pass the gallstones or liver stones is the magnesium citrate. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen because I'm going to show you guys, give you a visual. How y'all doing? Hey, hey. Sorry, my voice is a little... I'm talking. I'm teaching. Give me a second. Let me I'm gonna give y'all a visual of what the kit looks like, so that y'all could all right, share the entire screen. We're gonna do that. Yeah. Okay, let me know if y'all see that. All right, let me know if y'all see that. For those who got in the liver flush program, y'all see everybody got that special price. You got to DM me or put in the comments if you didn't join already. Just comment flush, and I'll send you the link to get the special prices. It's not going to be $80 for you. All right. So this is what comes. This is what y'all going to expect in your package. Okay. It comes with the liver gallbladder detox herbs, which all of the herbs that I mentioned, and this magnesium citrate powder. Now, the magnesium citrate powder is the one that's most important, because what that does, you're gonna take that on the 6th day of the flush. So we start Monday, June 3rd, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Saturday is the 6th day. And anyone who has the instructions know that on the 6th day, that's when you're taking the magnesium citrate. I give the directions, the amount, the measurements, everything. And the importance of the magnesium citrate, it helps the gallbladder to contract to 1/3 of its size so that it's easier to release any stones. You don't want it hard to release. It could be painful. All of the instructions that I put on the PDF is so that the process is smooth, so that it's no strain to release. When you have that bowel movement, it's not a strain to just release. It just comes right on out with the poop. It comes right on out with it. So that's the purpose of the magnesium citrate. You need this powder to complete it successfully. And tracking information will go out tomorrow. Everybody's packages will go out to ensure that it's there before that time. It should be there between, some of you can get it Tuesday if you guys are closer. I'm in Pennsylvania. Some of y'all can get it Wednesday. All right. So everything is going to be shipped priority. So to make sure it's like it gets there in about 2 days. So that's specifically mainly what you need. You also need either tart cherry juice or fresh apple juice. I will lean more towards tart cherry. You can do both. I'm doing both. I'm juicing fresh green apples and putting it in a jar, and I'm just drinking that, every day. I'm fasting now. I've been fasting. My birthday's coming up. That's why, I said, meet me on Live 614. My birthday, June 14th. So according to King Simon, shout out to the master numerologist, King Simon, that we are in our critical cycle 52 days before our birthday. So every year I do a cleanse before my new year. All right. So last year I did 30 days for 30 years old. Well, like we attaching ages to it. But this year I decided to do 31 days for 31. And what happened? I had went to Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? I started acting up. I was with Dr. B. Shout out to Dr. B. He's like, yo, come on, we got to go to this Thai restaurant. I got to show you this Thai restaurant because we were at the Billy Carson Anunnaki premiere. And man, I was like, man, I gotta break this fast. You know, I gotta break this fast. We was all hanging out, but I'm back on it. I've been back on it for the last 10 days. So it's best to fast if you guys are considering just straight juicing, herbal teas. That's best, but you can also do juicing, herbal teas, and eating raw food. I'm going to get into like the food aspect in a minute of the do's and the don'ts. Okay. Another thing with the tart cherry and apple juice, it has malic acid in it. Okay. It's very high in what is called malic acid. And what that does is it makes the passage of the stones through the bowel ducts. It softens it. See, everything has a purpose. So it softens it so that when you pass the stones, it's not, rubbing up against, like it's coming out, it's large. You didn't do anything to soften that passageway prior. That's why the 6 days, all of that is preparation for the actual event. The event takes place on Saturday, June 8th. Okay. And then, we got the other thing like you have to have, I'm not going to give it all away. Okay. If anyone's watching this live, come join us. All right. If you didn't get a chance to join and you want to just do it on your own, this kit is good for at least 4 to 6 flushes. So you can flush at any time. If you're not flushing with the tribe, you can flush at any time. Also, it's not good to flush during a full moon. Do not. That's why I always put my flushes to where it's not falling on the full moon. Don't flush during the full moon because that's the time where the body is trying to hold on in the tissues, hold on to its fluid. So it's going to be like a little tug and pull when you're trying to flush during the full moon. All right, but you can flush at any time. If you guys don't have time to get the kit and join with the tribe, you can always go on my website. Here it is. All right, it's right here. All right. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. All right, cool. All right, the do's and don'ts. This is the last part. We're going on an hour. Give thanks. Did y'all share yet? I just want to make sure y'all hit that share button. Everybody watching, y'all hit the like button, right? All right. We good. We hit the like. We shared this live. Comment any questions again. Comment, put the eye emoji in the chat if y'all enjoying it. Let me know what's up. We're going to get into, the do's and don'ts during the flush. Okay. All right. So the do's and the don'ts, the eating aspect, right? So again, if you're not fasting, if you're going to eat cooked foods, make sure that there's no oil. I wouldn't suggest any oil during this process because oil clogs the arteries, it clogs the vessels. So it's going to make it harder for you to pass any kind of congested waste from the liver and gallbladder. So I'm talking heated oils. So if you have a salad, right, and you're using like, olive oil and vinegar or some kind of balsamic or whatever, but check your ingredients. That's okay. But heated oils, because once you heat it, you change the entire structure of it and it becomes detrimental rather than healing when it's in its rawest form. Okay. So I wouldn't suggest any kind of heated oils, cooking, deep frying, none of it. Yes. Yeah. I'm talking to you who love them Fried oyster mushrooms. I'm talking to myself too because I love fried oyster mushrooms too. Yeah, it's plant based. It may be somewhat alkaline, but not during this cleanse. Okay. Of course, no dairy. Some of y'all are already practicing a plant based lifestyle anyway. So, but I'm going to say it anyway for those who are not, no dairy. All right. That includes your yogurts, your butters, anything that has dairy in it. You don't want to inhibit the process or slow down the process. So the dairy, the fried foods, are, again, top one, the meats, and that includes salmon too, any fish. So during this time, this process, I wouldn't suggest any fish. The main foods I suggest, if you're going to eat cooked foods, steaming your vegetables with water, right? Not too high, not too hot. You're going to steam your vegetables. Don't do it where it's like super soft, where you just took all the nutrients out. Quinoa is good. Fonio. All right. These are rice replacements. You can have chickpeas, like a curries or different things like that. Soups are welcomed. Okay. So these are things that you can have. Very light. Keep it simple. Very light. Keep it simple. If you're gonna do like plant-based yogurts, just read the ingredients. I think the best one that I've seen, and this is just based upon what I've seen, they're not all totally, oh my gosh, but the best one I've seen is a brand called Forager, Forager. It's in Whole Foods and it's in a lot of health food stores. So those who like yogurts, you can do that. That's fine. Um, just make sure whatever alternative that you're doing to the foods that you like, read, decode those ingredients, because we have become hypnotized by the big sign vegan. Oh, it's vegan. Yes, I can have that, but it comes with a lot of sugar. It comes with canola oil. It comes with yeast extract. It just comes with a bunch of BS. So we have to be master decoders of this reality and what goes into this temple, because family, what you ingest, it interrupts not just yourself, but just everything around you. And you will begin to become less frustrated with um, your what's happening for you. Nothing's happening to you, but it's always a greater reasoning behind it. And so the first step to tapping into that abundant power that you have is to detox. Okay. So those are just, sort of the do's and don'ts. Um, it gets really detailed when you get the instructions. I literally have it detailed to the T, how you're supposed to lay down, right? The times of the day that you're drinking these concoctions. By Sunday, we're done. You're relaxing, and by that time, you should be having a bowel movement to pass the stones on that Sunday, June 9th, right? Here's a tip. I put it in the plan, the instructions, that you want to make sure you get a strainer just for the toilet bowl. Make sure it fits the toilet bowl, because people ask, well, how do I know if I pass stones when I defecate? I don't know if the stones are in there. Well, you have to put the strainer in the toilet bowl so that you can catch the stones. And then when you sift through it, you see clearly that stones was passed. So get you a strainer for the toilet bowl. Make sure it fits the toilet bowl. A strainer. You can get it off Amazon. You get it at Walmart, Target, whatever. But it's only for the toilet. And when you're done, put it in a plastic bag and put it under the bathroom sink, because don't nobody want to make a mistake and use that in the kitchen. All right. All right. So that's another tip. We are an hour and 4 minutes in. I really give thanks. Let me see what other notes did I have to talk about with y'all. Again, Fasting is best, but if you're not going to fast, make sure you're juicing, mainly apples. Make sure the main juices that you have is, fresh apple juice. Um, and also the tart cherry juice. But again, for those who are tapped in, you know exactly how much you need, and you have everything that you need to start. For those who did not get added to the WhatsApp group, put it in the chat. Let me know if you're here on this live and you did not get added to the group. Put something in the chat so I can add you to the group, because we in there, we sharing daily tips, different things that we're doing, so that we can make this experience smooth and fun. Conversing with others that are also doing it, how powerful is that? Okay, so I'm growing this group so that we know, I can remind you all. This is a reminder. Those who are already tapped in spring, they're like, I'm ready. Shout out to Patrina John. She's like, she did the spring one. She on the summer solstice. I'm ready. So this is a reminder for you who's ever tapped into the tribe. Hey, quarterly, September 15th, or sooner than that, like September 10th, we are on this liver flush. So you want to tap into that, because sometimes we get in, we on it, we like, oh yeah, I'm going to cleanse, I'm not going back to that lifestyle, and then something happens, it triggers you, and you get into a mood, and you stay in that mood, and boom, Dr. Shakira texts you, hey, we starting again, y'all. You like, woo, you know what? This came at the right time, because I needed this. And something about mood, we all have it. I had it. Stayed in moods. I've stayed in moods where I'm missing my mother, and I'm like, oh man, it's clouding my judgment, where I can't teach the way I want, the flow. And what was so interesting was I had a dream about my mother. And I'm telling everybody, she's alive. She's alive. I'm telling my family she's alive. And they're like, no, sweetie, she passed on. You got it, And I'm like, I'm telling y'all, she's alive. And so I went to the hospital. I'm telling them she's alive. This one nurse, she takes me to a secret part of the hospital where I see my mom, and she has like this little body, and she literally is telling me, keep going, keep going. You have everything you need. I never left your side. Keep going. And I'm like, she's like, you got to let me go. And I'm like, what do you mean I got to let you go? She said, you got to let my body go, because my spirit is always with you. You're going to feel me more. And I let her go, and the body it left. And I feel my mom even right now, every single day. She said she never left. So anyone, I have a video from 2 years ago, how to transform that mood energy after a loved one transition, and not to stay in that mood, to know without a doubt that the same blood that they have running through their veins is running through yours. And when she reminded me that, and I got this ring, this was my mom's ring. She had this since I was a child. So it's like, I know she's here. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to stay in that mood again. So what I want, and I learned this quote from shout out to the Hood Healer on Instagram. Honor your moods, whatever mood that may be. Honor it. If you're in a mood where you may be sad, you may be angry, you may be frustrated, yeah, you recognizing the mood for what it is. It's a mood. It's temporary. Honor it. You may need to eat a cookie. Hey, it's not a bad thing. We have to take away this idea of what's good, what's bad, right? That's why I don't push a certain lifestyle on my clients. Who am I to take away your free will and what you came to earth to experience? So honor it in that moment, but let it pass. That's the key to mental mastery. I'm gonna do a live on that too, to understand that, because a lot of times the disease becomes chronic because we stayed in the mood too long, when we should have had that mood and let it pass. So that's what I've done. I've let it pass. And here I am, right here, shining, talking to you. All right. So that's it, y'all. That's it. I got another meeting with my Juice Plus team. That's another thing. Let me share my screen right quick. One more. We're gonna share the screen right quick. Let's see. Got another meeting with the Juice Plus squad. All right. Juice Plus. All right. So this, if you guys have this, take this every day during the flush. You should take it every day anyway. But see, what this is literally over 30 different superfoods in a capsule. So all the nutrition that we're not getting, it's in these capsules. Okay, the entire fruit, not just the flesh. So you see an orange, you see grapes. They're using the peel, the flesh, the seed. Okay, somebody call me. Let me know if y'all could see me in the chat. Let me know if y'all could see me in the chat because somebody had gave me a call and and I think it disrupted. Put some thumbs up if y'all could still hear me. Okay, cool. Yes. Okay, cool. And that's not a stupid question. We're gonna dive into that because that's a good question. Because for the someone said this may be a stupid question to some, but how do you know when there will be a full moon besides looking on the weather app? That's a really good question. The most part, I look at the calendar. Another thing that I do I access my surroundings. Sometimes the ions in the air. Sometimes how the wind sway. Because remember, they didn't have calendars. Our ancestors didn't have calendars to say when the full moon was coming. So it is a resonance in the atmosphere that we can tell when the full moon is coming. I can't speak on that thoroughly because that's something that I have to really meditate on. So that's a good question. It's not a dumb question. Shout out to you for asking that because you jarring something within me now. But I would say even for to give you something, I would say pay attention to your surroundings. I know for me, for females, certain female, the body is structured to go on the menses, either close to a full moon or on the full moon. Okay, you can either feel it in your body too. Within sometimes you may get like a little feeling, and even men, because the ovaries or the testes is just the ovaries outside of the body, so you can feel it as well if you are grounded within, and not just physically grounded, but grounded within yourself. Okay, or what is called a gynic female, or for male, a male who is connected spiritually, where the senses are heightened, and that's how you can. I could say you can tell when the full moon is approaching. Okay, there's more to it, I know, but I can't speak it on now because I don't speak on something deeply that I don't know much about until I've done more studying within self. All right, but I trust that helps. You said, I know for me, I can feel it in a weird way, but also my students start to get a bit more energetic. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, like you said, the full moon, the freaks come out, right? So it's like this energy that, well, that's a saying. I don't believe the freaks come out, but that's it creates like this energy within us. It's activating us on a cellular and DNA level where we begin to feel it, but some of us, we ignore it and we use that energy to go clubbing, for lust. That if you're using it in the improper way, but if you're spiritually balanced, you're going to use that time for your own personal rituals. So yeah, absolutely. All right, so this is the last thing, Juice Plus. All right, we all need this. Every last one of us need this, down to pregnant women, down to children. Okay, it's literally all the fruits and vegetables that we need to eat in a capsule. They have their own farm. It's not sitting in my house. So it's not just sitting there and wasting away. Once you order, that's when the your order is being prepared. They own their own farm. So literally it's from farm to capsule. They wait for it to mature so that they pulverize it, grind it into a powder, so that you're getting the full aspect of the fruit, of that vegetable, of that berry. Okay. You also see the omega, plant omega, not from fish. So all of the micro sea algae, what the fish gets its omega from, it's getting it from the bottom of the ocean, which is that algae. Okay, it has raspberry seed oil, sea buckthorn oil, and it provides a full spectrum omega 3, 6, 7, and 9. So we get the three, we get certain components of the omegas from certain foods like kelp, bladderwhack, that might be your threes. You may have the sixes from the sea moss, but see the Juice Plus Omega, you have all of it so that you don't have to keep doing all of these different things every day to make sure that you're getting the full spectrum. It's right here for you. So I definitely suggest to invest in this package. All right, the Juice Plus. Comment or put in the chat raw if you would like for me to follow up with you for a free phone consultation. Comment right now on this live raw. All right, and then what you can do is email me info@holisticapalace.com. I'm going to put it in the chat now. I'm going to put it in the chat. Bear with me. Info at Holistica. There we go. Okay, so for those of you who are not tapped into the Juice Plus Raw package, you can email me there so that we can get you started on this, because this here, I have a powerful testimony brewing. Man. And I'm not saying, I can't say for certain as a holistic practitioner, and even Juice Plus, they don't want anyone to say specifically that Juice Plus has done this, but they have over 48 clinical trials of diseases from liver, cholesterol, inflammation, gene expression and how it changes gene expression, allergies, dental health, how Juice Plus has improved all of this. And that testimony of one of my clients, she did the 90-day program, severe neurological issues, night and day after she finished. So that's coming soon. I'm going to post that on YouTube. But here it is, y'all. Email me info@holisticapalace.com if you don't have this Juice Plus Raw package. All right. Definitely, we all need it. All right. I'm going to stop sharing. Okay. Well, we are wrapping it up. Thank y'all so much for staying on. For those who are already in the WhatsApp group, I'm going to be posting on there tonight. And we live and in effect tomorrow. If there nobody has any questions, thank y'all for your kind attention. I truly, truly appreciate it. Shout out to all of my clients. I see y'all in the chat that y'all have had your iridology. I invited you to do this liver flush, and y'all are on board. Since I need to do the 90 days, but need to see you first. Absolutely. Yes. Definitely come see me first. If you want to do an office visit, the office visits are booming right now because it's summertime, so people are traveling. I'm in the Tobyhanna, Poconos, Pennsylvania area. So anyone in Maryland, New York, Philly, Delaware, y'all travel. I had somebody drive 7 hours from Virginia. I had someone fly from South Carolina. So hey, come through. Ain't nothing like that human connection. All right, where I'm sitting down looking at you and talking to you. All right, so let's get going. If you have any more questions about the liver flush, I'm gonna it's 7:30 again. If you get in today, your kit will be mailed out tomorrow, and you'll have it in time to successfully complete the cleanse. All right. Thank you all so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. You guys are my teachers too, because each and every one of you that has an iridology, I learned something from you. So I wouldn't be me here if it wasn't for you. So remember that. And each one of us has that power within us to be what is called teacher. Okay? We all are. All right? Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Love and light, peace, and abundance.